Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, Cara ASMR. So we are in quarantine, self-isolation, whatever you want to call it. We're in lockdown in most parts of the world. So with that lockdown comes a little boredom. Now personally, I've been obsessed with Netflix and just trying to do little crafts here and there. I've been painting a lot more and I've been reading. Now when I used to babysit, I noticed a lot of what kids would do is get on their tablets or get on their laptops, play these online games. And I think maybe we should be reading more. So today's video is going to be suggestions of books that kids can read probably around elementary, middle grade when you start to read on your own, or if you want a parent to read. Parents, if you're watching this, these books are all great. So yeah, I'm just gonna give you some suggestions because this is a great time to be picking up more books. Also, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with tablets or computers and stuff like that. That's not what I'm saying. Reading can be fun though. So the first book I have to recommend to the kids is those who are obsessed with Disney, like unhealthily amounts, like myself. It is Kingdom Keepers by Ridley Pearson. This book is about a group of kids who are implanted into the Disney parks as hologram guest tour guides, and they go to sleep and they realize that at night in their dreams they're being transported to the Disney parks. Their goal becomes clear pretty quickly that they have to fight the animatronics and the characters that are coming to life and planning on overtaking Disney World. This is great for those kids who really love to just explore Disney and who, maybe like me, watch all the different Disney theme park videos on YouTube. This would be a great way to explore the parks. As for any warnings, there's nothing too scary. I think the scariest thing is a little bit of sword fighting. The next books I have to recommend are for those who, maybe like myself, were a little obsessed with romance as a kid. Most kids think it's all cooties and gross, but you have the select few. And for those select few, I'm going to suggest two books. For Evermore by Cindy Miles and Rebel Spirit by Lois Ruby. These books both have the same concept. A young girl moves into a place she really doesn't want to. In this book's case, to Gettysburg, where her family runs an inn for the coming summer events. And in this one to Ireland, where this girl's mother marries a man who moved into a castle. Both have ghosts from the past who have to solve a mystery in order to escape into the the realm. They're very meet cute, they're very sweet. I think anyone of any age can read them, but they're very targeted towards middle grade. There's nothing scary about them, despite them being about ghosts, but it's kind of romantic. Also, Rebel Spirits in particular is very interesting and very educational about Gettysburg and the events that happened during the war. The next book I have to recommend is a little scarier. It's for the older kids in like middle school. That book is Malice by Chris Wooding. So this book, it's a duology, but it follows a world where comic books, when they're read, they come to life. You do this little chant, and this man, Tall Jake, comes and takes you into the comic world. The world is not all that it seems, though, and it can become dangerous very quickly. So this book is part novel, part graphic novel. We know we have those kids that hate reading books, but it's part comic too, so yeah. But definitely pick this up if you got a kid who's very macabre and into scary stuff, like, also me. So the next book I have to talk about is actually all ages, but still really great for those kids that are just getting into fantasy or getting into the wanting to read bedtime stories on their own. Like, we've all been in that age. I remember when I got to that point. The book is The Land of Stories by Chris Colfer. This is about a set of twins who, when they have a book from their grandmother about fairy tales, they fall into the world. All the fairy tales are in here that you've heard of. They're so great. It's kind of a twist on Once Upon a Time with fairy tales becoming evil, but it's not like super scary. It's really good though, and it's a series, so it's definitely one of those that you can read at night before you go to bed, or the kid may get glued to it and never put it down, and tablets won't be needed. Also, there's an interactive set of books that go with this that are pop-up and little interactive codes and stuff, I believe, are, there's 3 of them, so. So the next book is one that I've only read the first one of the series, but it is Percy Jackson and the Olympians. This is the first one, The Lightning Thief, and this is about, of course we all know, a boy who learns that he has abilities that are into Greek mythology. So his father's Poseidon, there's other characters in here like Zeus and Athena and people like that who we learn about in the books but are even more interesting. So if your kid's into Greek mythology, definitely pick this book up. They will thank you. And then of course we have the epic, the one I think all parents read to their kids growing up. If not, do it. I'm talking about Narnia by C.S. Lewis. So this is the collection of all the books that I have, and I think there's 8 in total, 7 or 8. And there are about a world called Narnia that is not just one set group of people. Many people go into it. They fight little wars. They have witches. There's lions that talk. There is Santa Claus. There is fawns. It's just a magical world that I can't vouch for enough. C.S. Lewis is amazing. Also, for some reason, I used to study these books in church. I don't know why, because I guess they are pretty mimicking of the Bible with certain aspects, but that's because C.S. Lewis is a Christian writer. But these are for all ages. They're amazing. It is a world that your kid will get lost in, believe me. It's up there with Harry Potter, so. And then lastly, because we all know the kid who refuses to read a book unless there's pictures, I had to throw one in here. It is Star Wars The Force Awakens, the storybook. There are a bunch of these that are like the movies, but in storybook form. So it has it like a story. It says, when Finn saw that Rey was flying toward the Super Star Destroyer, he couldn't believe it. Are we really doing this? He shouted. So it's a story, but it's the movie. Yeah. And there's pictures all throughout. There are a bunch of these, all the movies, there is one. And so yeah, they're really great. So those are the books that I have to recommend kids who are wanting to read more, or who want to get into reading during all this lockdown and stuff. It's a great time to be reading more, to be interacting with literature and films even, and things like that, just expanding your mind. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it. And until next time, remember you're beautiful, you're wonderful, and you are loved. Bye!